Well, this is the day the Lord's made. I'll rejoice and be glad in it. Y'all come on in the room, everybody. It's time for the now moment. Nugget of wisdom, our millionaire now moment. So I'm so happy that you joined. Now listen, I need everybody to share this. Everybody to share it. And it's going to be amazing. You know, all of our millionaire moments here on Thursday have been amazing, and we expect nothing less for tonight. So, this has been an amazing day. I hope you've had an amazing day already. Hey, listen, I'm going to bring our millionaire guest in now, and then we're going to crank it up. But I need everybody to like and share. Hey, I see Bridget's out there, and Gerald. Hey, Gerald. I see Jeffrey. Hey, Jeff. All right. Cheryl and Joyce. Did I say Joyce? I think I thought I saw Joyce earlier. But listen, I've got an earth-shattering announcement to make on tomorrow. Earth-shattering concerning the boot camp. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. If you have not registered, you need to get registered because this is going to be an event like none other. All right, producer, bring my lovely guest in. Won't you do that? Amen. Well, hello, young lady. How are you?
How are you, Apostle? Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm just happy that you're on you're on our guest list.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard a lot about you from David. You know, David, my son, he thinks the world of you. I'm just telling you. And so he said, "You got to have we got to get her." I said, "Okay, let me reach out to her." So here's what everybody wants to know: who is Nicole Smith-Jackson? Who is this lady?
Well, Nicole Smith-Jackson, I'm just humble. I came from being a humble, overworked hairstylist.
Hmm.
Come from a family of immigrants. My mother was born in Panama, and so
Mhm.
my father is Jamaican. So a blend of Hispanic and Caribbean, right?
All
Spicy.
right.
But come with a very strong work ethic. I can tell you, I never had it easy. Um, Coming from that strict background, we were taught to work really, really hard. Got to an age where you want to be rebellious. You go out there on your own, get hooked up with wrong crowd, start having a lot of, I would say, self-inflicted pain.
Okay.
And
Okay.
by 23, I buried 3 children.
My.
They told me I had an incompetent cervix. So, that kind of created probably some insecurities in some places of even being a young woman and feeling like you can't even bear a child.
Hmm.
But I found the power of God and the power of, affirming and believing that you're going to get what you ask from God. And then I have, full term baby now, married 17 years.
All right.
Yeah, 17 years to my Boaz. And so I am a firm believer that is God first and then family and then everything else. And when I put those things in order, I started probably making more money than ever.
All right. Outstanding. Outstanding.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when I was talking with David and David began to talk about you and your success, he began to tell me, you know, that, you know, you have multiple streams, you and your husband,
Yeah.
multiple streams. And I think that's good. Can you just kind of speak to that? What
Yeah.
you actually do? What do you do? You know, you're not, you said you're an ex hairstylist. So we
Yeah.
know
Right
that's,
now.
yeah.
Oh, well, they call me, like, I would say probably the queen of wealth, uh,
Okay.
in that standpoint that I began to really master money. We've been taught to really work really hard and didn't realize until a little bit later on that money is the seed. Your active income is your seed. And so
Okay.
we began to actually seek out multiple streams. So I'm the CEO of Success Strategic Partners, which is like a holding company for my Give It Beauty skincare line, for Pink Millionaire Club, where I actually teach women how to earn passive income streams so they can be fully present
Okay.
with their families. My husband also has a construction company, Blackstone Construction. And I've also been known in the network marketing industry for 15 plus years. So we were, multiple 7-figure streams of income, but we use that to earn passive eight figures in income. And so that's a journey. I don't like to, we're very humble. I don't even like to typically talk about the money piece, but along that, study to show thyself approved. So I am also licensed as a financial consultant in the insurance industries and things like that. So
That's great. The whole purpose of the boot camp, and I called it Millionaire just so I could get some attention.
I know, right?
You don't say, but it's really about becoming a high level achiever in what you're doing, and learning how not to be regular, and becoming that high level person. It does mean that you learn to do a lot of things,
Yes.
and you learn to do them well. And when you learn to do those things well, there is compensation for it. I just wanted I wanted people to, I wanted to pull a group of people together who were not ashamed that they've gained some wealth. I think our people need to see it.
Yes.
And need to understand, because initially we were taught in church, you're not supposed to be rich. You're not supposed to have. And that got to us first. And so we were even talked down if you even thought about trying to, get ahead. We were really talked down. And so, we have to overcome that. We have to overcome it. And so that's one of the purposes of the Millionaire Boot Camp. And boy, I got to tell you, I can hardly wait. I can hardly wait.
I am excited too. And I'm more excited because I know it's amazing that you spoke to the idea that in church, many people believe that, acquiring wealth or pursuing wealth that in some way or form that's out of alignment with God. And I totally believe the opposite, again, from the word. And I couldn't think that Deuteronomy 8:18 through 19 where God would tell us that he is the one that gives us the ability to gain that wealth. And also on the back end, if we forget it, that's what's going to lead to poverty. And I think that many a times we forget that we've made a lot of other things our God, either, jobs, whatever other ways that we get money, we made that our God versus going to God and say, what do you really say about creating wealth? And that has been how I had my breakthroughs through wealth. Was I had to go to the word. You have some things that happen to you, some gut punches. We know in 2008 what the economy was doing.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And then I began to realize in our construction company, we had it then, and I had a hair salon and things were like crumbling all the way together. And I began to petition to God and really seeking and knocking and saying, listen, I know that there are a lot of people who are losing, but I also know that there are some people who are winning. And I want to be on that side.
Yeah.
You show me how to get to the other side of money, and I promise you, Lord, I will show others the same thing.
Wow.
Well, I can tell you, you be careful.
The reason I said wow is because I made that commitment to God years ago. I was seeking help. Nobody wouldn't help me. And so I said, Lord, if you show me, I'll show others.
Yes.
And he did. And I have been doing that ever since.
And it's a big test. I think people try to, glamify the idea when you decide that you're going to do it God's way. But what they don't understand is to be in Christ and to be crucified with him. You also have to go through the fire, and there are some tests. And, I've had those tests, and where, you have those losses, and then you have to go back again. And so I can share with you that the word of God has been the ultimate guide to how I created the wealth, and not only the wealth, because in that process of getting money, I could have lost my whole family. Right. I was being summoned all over the world to speak about how we're creating wealth and all these different things. And I'm like, Lord, I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask for the stages. What I wanted was more than enough money that I didn't ever have to worry about money, because I figured that if I had to worry about money, then now money's getting more of my attention than God. And that was always a struggle, was always like a pull and tug, until I began to really understand the power of compound interest. And it was told to us in Genesis to be fruitful and to multiply. That was one of the clues. But the mystery unraveled for me with Ecclesiastes 11, 1 through 2. And that is how I began to really create those multiple streams.
All right.
Okay. I
Okay.
realized there was a breakthrough. I got the breakthrough in Ecclesiastes. Obviously, King Solomon, he knows everything about wealth that you need to know. But that's where I got the breakthrough. And I realized because I was traveling everywhere off of a stream of income. And that's the thing we're going to talk about. Now, I'm not going to give it all away, but one of the biggest breakdowns in family is going to be your health or finance. And when you have the combination of both with what COVID did for us recently, it just uncovered the real pandemic, which is financial illiteracy.
Mm-hmm.
And so that Ecclesiastes 11, 1 through 2, I realized that I didn't have a lot of streams of income that didn't require my labor.
Okay.
And so
that's what you're going to teach us?
I'm going to talk a lot about that because there's the breakthrough to freedom. So I'm not going to give it away.
No, you can't. I ain't going to let you give it away tonight.
I can go on and on because the wisdom of God has really just illuminated me with that. That was a big breakthrough. You know,
the thing that is so important and what is really driving me in this is for years I have watched the success gurus and the motivational guys out there, and what they're saying is biblically based, but they won't give God the credit for it.
Oh.
And so, I'm okay. I mean, I ain't throwing a rock at them. Please, I'm not throwing a rock at them.
Right.
No, but the things that they teach are already founded in Scripture, and they already belong to us.
That's right.
They already belong. Hey, listen, I was doing this research and I found out that 56% of all millionaires worldwide are Christians.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that amazing?
But would we know it? Right now, I think people are becoming a little bit more clear and comfortable to understand that we don't have to deny our faith.
Right.
And that's where the true freedom comes in. And even back to that Ecclesiastes 11, 1 through 3, passive streams of income is what's necessary because it does not see any color. You literally can bypass a lot of other systems and bureaucracies, meaning in the standpoint of the money is coming in passively. So it has nothing to do with your faith. That's what I love. That's the even playing field.
Mm-hmm.
When you break through and you begin to understand the power of passive streams of income, it doesn't care that you're not a great marketer. It doesn't care that you don't look good. Doesn't care where you come from. Compound interest works for everyone. And, Albert Einstein talks about that. And he gave us that whole thing where people say, hey, compound interest, the eighth wonder of the world. Those who understand it earn it. Those who don't pay it. And so if you understand what side of the coin you are on with compound interest.
Yes, ma'am.
It makes the biggest difference. And people say, oh, I do understand it. I'm an investor. Well, I would always ask them, well, how much of your active income is invested versus consumed?
Gotcha. All right. Listen, so here's the question I've asked all my guests.
Uh-huh.
When did you make your first million?
Well, it depends on how we're defining millionaire, because when I made my first asset million, meaning that you could look on, that balance.
That counts.
Yes. My first asset million, I would say about 2006, 2007. So where are we, 2023 at the time of this video?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little bit of time ago, I would say, right?
That's good. There ain't nobody mad but the devil.
But I love the fact of the story of when I earned my first million, like meaning on, from my active income or on a 1099. That would have been in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a wake-up call on the difference between the asset millionaire,
mm-hmm.
the earned millionaire, or a liquid millionaire.
Liquid, okay.
And meaning that you have assets that you can liquidate, or you have cash that you can put your hand on 7 figures. And that happened in about 2011 because I went to a mastermind, funny enough, right? And this is why.
Now, where's the mastermind? We got people that don't know what that is. What's the mastermind?
Well, it's actually a place. If people haven't read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, it's definitely going to be really where a think tank where you come together with like-minded people who are pivoting and clear about the support and collaboration with each other in order to lift everyone up.
Gotcha. All right.
That would be probably the layman's term of the mastermind.
Okay.
Some people are part of cliques. Some people are part of groups, but they don't have the intention of lifting and collaborating to lift one another up. And so I would say that's the distinction. But with this particular mastermind, we had to get our mind right. And before we had to do that, we had to come to terms with where we really were in our heart towards money, in our minds towards money, and also our mastery of money. And so I had to do this form, and we had to fill out and say, okay, we have our assets and our liabilities. And then now we had to now balance out and say, well, how much liquid do we actually have? Now, when I went to this mastermind, by this time I had earned $1 million. I saw it where I earned it. But then my bottom line was I brought, I only had $100,000 liquid. So you're talking about 90% of the earnings was consumed or spent.
Gotcha.
That was a gut punch because I felt like I wasn't being a good steward over what God had given me. And I had said to myself, listen, I'm giving myself 1 year and I am going to have that $1 million in the bank liquid. I wanted to, it was just something for me because more like I felt like I was irresponsible that I had earned so much and could see so little, but I didn't realize that my mindset didn't catch up with the paycheck.
Gotcha.
My mindset didn't catch up with the paycheck. I'd earned $1 million, but my mindset, or I would say my capacity was still at 6 figures.
Gotcha.
Because it happened so fast, and I didn't have, money didn't come with instructions, and I didn't have an instructor. So I literally had to go back, and that's where I started my work in studying money and studying and realizing that there's no way you could work your way to wealth. No way you could. It's almost humanly impossible to work your way to wealth. And that's where I realized that my money needed to make money. And I was focusing on it.
So what would you tell a person who's on the fence about coming to the boot camp? They're on the fence. Now, all of my, I think you probably know most of my speakers. David. Well,
I know Twyla. It's just oh my gosh, Darius! I've heard so much about him as well. I cannot wait to meet him. I've listened to some of his recordings on the internet, and he's amazing. So you have this is stellar, and this is where I'm excited about coming, because no matter what, you have to stay learning, and I am excited to learn from even the other speakers. And that's so powerful. And I'm sure that a lot of the other speakers are like, they can't wait to collaborate and connect. And
that is what they've said. That is what they've said. That is what they said. Go on.
Success leaves clues, Apostle. If the millionaires, success leaves clues. If the millionaires say they want to get in the room with those other millionaires to learn from them, and if you're at the place where you can't say that you're a liquid millionaire, even if you are, then that's just a no-brainer that you need to be in the room. Because what I can share with you, I just left another mastermind. We stay in personal development. Personal development is personal. And in that area where you're consistently tested, you have to be confronted where you could actually be in environments where you can safely face your fears and fuel your faith in those areas, because becoming a millionaire is something that you have to believe before you can conceive it.
Oh yeah.
And it's more believable when you can see relatable people like me, who is a basketball mom. I didn't do it so that I can be, make it rain, whatever. I did it so that I can have freedom Because when you bury 3 children by 23, and then one of them who's 25 now never walked a day in his life, he has cerebral palsy. Don't worry about him. He's married. He has his own life. They do amazing together. But that's my ministry, is family, being home, being available for my family without being a burden on my husband. We have to become an asset first. That's why you have to be there. Become an asset before you can acquire assets.
Got you. Oh, that's good. That's good. No, that's good. That is good. So listen, we got about another 9 minutes. So what would you think would be, if you had to pinpoint something that would be has been the greatest challenge to your being a top achiever, your millionaire status? What would you say, if you could put your finger on it? What would you say that is?
I would say, especially for women, time mastery.
Okay.
Time mastery. What you do with your day, it designs your life. And chasing the bag or securing the bag, that we see it all over. And that whole idea of with women, especially, we have to be so many people. We have to be so many people to so many people, meaning we have to wear so many hats. Time mastery had been the biggest key for me and then also knowing that time needs to secure fulfillment. Mm-hmm. Even if you're a servant, because especially myself as being a woman, I serve. I love to cook. I love to be there. I love to cook. I cook every single morning for my family. I love to just go in that kitchen. My husband, he's construction, and he created this beautiful kitchen. That was the whole deal. Like, I want this kitchen, 10-foot island, and I want to be able to cook every morning. And, I had this vision. Habakkuk 2:2-3. I wrote the vision and I made it plain. And I wanted to be able to work from home and be at home in leisure, but I didn't want to have to worry about money. Gotcha. So the time mastery was the biggest thing. That's how I created even my Power Moves planner. Okay. I created my day so that I could actually still have everything, including self-care. I mean, I am such a regular at the spas. I'm a regular at all these places, right? And I just felt it would just been totally unfair for me to have all these things that I needed to keep myself fulfilled. And then the time that I wanted to spend with God, I didn't want to have to. I want to get up when I want to get up off my knees. I want to do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it. But I still needed money. You're gonna need money to live that kind of lifestyle.
Money is the fuel. Money is the fuel. That's right. Absolutely. If you have an automobile and you don't have fuel for it, whether it's one electrical. I bought me one. I haven't driven it that much though. My wife would tell. She tried to tell me when I bought it. Yeah, I'll drive it. You'll drive. But that's all right. I wanted it, so I bought it.
Right.
Bought it for my birthday. You see, but you got to have fuel. You got to have fuel. Yeah. And that is when you have to recalibrate your thinking about money, so that it is not your God. You put it in the right perspective and understand how to make the most of what you have and how to gain more. And that's what the boot camp is going to be about. So listen, I told everybody I have the early registration has ended. But I will give you a 30% off of the regular. That's what that's up there for. You have to use that code APC 30, APC 30, and you'll get 30% off the regular. It's not as much as the early registration, but I told y'all to go and register early. But hey, take advantage of it, because it's not going to always be. I'm telling you, it's not going to always be. But take advantage of it, and then I want you to prepare. I want you to prepare to be at the boot camp. It's going to be a very special event. It's like nothing I've ever done. And y'all know I've done some amazing things. Y'all know I have. There it is. The whole see that's at the top. You have our speakers there, and then we have the panelists. Those who are going to talk about their pathway to a millionaire status, their pathway to millionaire status. I've got a cosmetologist there. I've got a real estate guy there. I've got an entrepreneur. I got several entrepreneurs there. I've got an attorney there. And, you know, these are people going to be saying, okay, here's where I was and here's what I've done, giving glory to God. All of them are believers in the kingdom. So it's going to be great. I don't want you to miss it. I want you to be a part of it. But you're going to have to see the value of investing in yourself.
That's right.
That's it. You're going to have to see the value of investing in yourself. And, you know, I was talking to one of my sons in ministry, and he was saying, because I saw he hadn't registered. I wasn't going, you know, it's a thing that if you don't value it, I don't want you there just because you think I want you there. You gotta want it.
Yes.
You follow me? And so, in fact, I was getting ready to get on the plane to come back here the other day, and he said, "Oh, I'm coming to the boot camp," you know, and I'm going, "Well, you know, you ain't registered, you know." But he said, "No, I'm putting some things in place, but I'm going to be there." And I said, "Now listen, if you don't want to come, it's okay with." No. He said, "No, that's never been the point. Never been the point." He said, "I got to put some things in order, but I want to be there. I want to be there." And that's what's going to make this group so special.
Yes.
When I was talking with David about planning it, because David's helping me plan it, you know. I can plan church, but I've never done an event like this. So I got the specialist, you understand?
Yeah.
And so he was saying, now, Dad, this is not church. This is not church. And I'm going, well, I've been to one of his events. So 2 of his events. And I understand it's at another stratosphere. Because when he was saying on Saturday, he said, Saturday, we're going to be there all day. I said, huh? He says, yeah, we're going to start at 10. We're going to be over by 6. I said, huh? He said, it's not church. He said, church folk want to come for 90 minutes and think that 90 minutes is going to help them change the world. He says, these people are coming hungry. They are coming and they're going to be hungry to learn.
Yes.
So it's going to be a different atmosphere. It's going to be a different group. And he said, and that you're going to love it.
You got
give us some closing remarks.
Yeah. I just want to share that for people. And I mean, David is like, he's the best of the best. And what you want to know is that in order to be a millionaire, you have to sow the seed into yourself. That time, your talent, your treasure, you got to sow that seed. I have at least 7 figures, not much more, in personal development and going to events and seminars. I've traveled all over the world to learn about business. I've gone out even to Asia for business courses and things like that. You got to understand that no one gets to 8 figures if they don't think they're worth the investment. Because you're investing, but you may be investing in someone else's financial future when you're in consumerism. So when you now begin to invest in yourself, it tells you about your self-worth. I know a lot of people here and they say the thing about your network equals your net worth, but I believe your self-worth is what fuels your net worth. And so you want to invest in yourself. And don't invest in yourself for where you are today. Don't count what you have now. Invest in yourself for where you want to be tomorrow.
Yeah, most definitely.
That's what you have to do. And you want to walk with faith, because you're talking about faith is going to be all over the room. When you're talking about these people who most of us have come from humble beginnings, I don't know anyone who was born with a silver spoon in their mouth. I know I wasn't. And I'm that mom that want to be side court. I told myself when my son gets to 8th grade, I want to be available. I want to be there. I want to be available, even if it's nothing but the school call and I can get there in a hot minute. I'm a real mama. But what you want to do is invest in yourself and be there. And I can't wait to see you, hug your neck, talk with you. We real people. And that's what you need to know. You need to do it.
It's going to be amazing. And we're blessed to have you as a part of the team. And as I say during the appeals that I make, I've assembled what I believe is the best. And that's what David told me the other day. He said, now, you know, you have the best of the best.
My verse.
And so we all love Jesus, not ashamed of it, not ashamed that he's blessed us, not ashamed of what we have, and we're willing to share it with others. And that's the key,
Yes.
that we're willing to share. So listen, my producer is going to play that final spot. She's going to play the long version. I want the long version of it, but I need everybody to, you need to be with us on the 3rd and the 4th. That night of the 3rd is going to be opening night. It's going to be live. It's not church. I don't have a praise and worship team.
Not wait.
I don't have a praise and worship team. It ain't church. It's not church. But it's going to be off the chain. And then,
so what music can I walk up to? Because I was looking, I was like, okay, babe, what we gonna walk up to here? My husband, I said, what am I gonna walk up to? Because I'm like, we're gonna be at the church.
No, you're not at church.
No. Okay. All right.
I bought the old Lakewood church.
Okay.
Those old building. And I totally remodeled it. We totally remodeled it, and we changed its purpose. It has more of a multi-purpose feel to it. And we call it Love City, USA. And we are the only Black-owned, Black-operated Christian camp in America. And it's first class. We're the Ritz-Carlton of Christian camps. And so that's where it's going to be. You got it? So it's not, it's not in a church, but we all have our church flavor. But this is going to be church flavor at a whole nother level. And that's what's going to happen on Monday. I mean, on Friday night. And then after the service, we have a mix and mingle and that sort of thing, with the VIPs and everybody. And and then on Saturday morning, we all going to have breakfast. And then after breakfast, we're going to get into it. We're going to go into it. We got our speakers all lined up. We have our panelists with the people who have made millionaire status. Dr. I is going to interview them and then we're going to break for lunch, and you don't have to leave because I'm going to feed you. Follow me. We're feeding everybody. Yeah, we're feeding everybody. Now, the VIP, that's why if you're not VIP status, you might want to go and reconsider, because, it's, VIP paid more and they get more. After lunch, we get right back in it. Got another speaker, got another panelist, and then, we're going to close it out strong. You will leave with your mind changed. You will leave. We used to have a drug rehabilitation program. It was absolutely free, for 90 days. And I would tell pastors, you give me your addict, guy who's strung out, or a lady who's strung out. You give them to me for 90 days. I will give them back to you free of drugs. 90 days. And we had like a 92, 93% success rate. Unheard of in the industry. Got it? And so I said, when we had camp, you give me your child, you give me your teen for 4 days, I'll give them back to you changed. And we did. I'm saying to those who register for the boot camp, Millionaire Boot Camp, you give me these 2 days, you will leave changed.
Yes.
Gotta go now. Join me tomorrow at 11:30 for the Focus, and I think I'll make the announcement at the Focus. Yeah, so join me for my earth-shattering announcement. Yeah, I'll make it tomorrow at the Focus, and I wanted to see you there. Thank you, Nicola. I really appreciate it. Tonight has been amazing. I've been watching the thread, and I've been watching the comments. Amazing. And so they're going to play my final one. But as I always say, he's able to do exceeding abundantly above all we ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. Stay focused, stay in faith, and we're going to watch God work.
Yes.
The real joy in arriving at a place of blessings and prosperity and wealth is not in the trinkets and the toys and the things that you can purchase, but it is in the ability to be a blessing to others. Yes, to be philanthropic and to give to noteworthy causes. The real purpose of kingdom wealth is to be involved in financing good works and good efforts in the community and around the globe. I'm having an amazing event in February called the 2023 Millionaire Boot Camp on the 3rd and the 4th, and registration is going very well. Those 2 powerful days it'll be about us sharing the principles and pathways to millionaire status, and you should be there. There are success principles that can be applied to any profession that can make the real difference. Did you know that 1,700 people become new millionaires each day? So why not you? Did you know that 86% of millionaires say that they earned their wealth and didn't inherit it? So why not you? I've assembled a team of kingdom millionaires who are willing to share their wisdom about their journey to millionaire status. And people from all walks of life are registering, so why not you? They are both VIP and platinum registrations, and both are filling up fast. And for more information and registration, text, there it is on the screen, MLBC23 to 71441. The 2023 Millionaire Boot Camp at Love City, USA in Houston, Texas, February the 3rd and the 4th. Principles and pathways to millionaire status. Be there. Why not you? So go register today.